Hey coaches, what's going on? It is Coach Tim here with another video, and I got a good one for you today, a special one for you today, guys. I really want to talk to you guys as to why I started coaching youth football, and I'm gonna talk to you guys why it's important to know your why you get into this. And this is not just for youth football coaches, but this is for coaches in really any sport on any level, guys. And I want to be real transparent with you guys in this particular video, all right? So bear with me, guys. And guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, guys, if you enjoy my content, guys. And that's a gift to you. You can download my free Beast Formation playbook, guys. That is free to you. It's going to be in the description box below. All right, guys, so let me get into this video. Guys, I'm going to share really a quick story with you guys as to why I coach youth football and why I've been doing it for so long, all right? So guys, I've been involved in sports as long as I can remember. One of my first memories in life, guys, was me being at a high school football game. My brothers, I'm the youngest of seven. Let me start there. I'm the youngest of seven, but my brother that's next to me, he was an all-state running back in 1995, 1996. So he was a big deal at that time. And I can remember going to every single game and watching him score. He played running back, he played outside linebacker, and just seeing him dominate games and seeing the fans. And, it was such a big deal to me. And it was one of those things that gave me so much joy. I didn't know that they played on Fridays, but I knew that when everybody started wearing purple and white, and when the store started shutting down, that okay, we finna go and watch some football. We finna watch my brother play. We finna watch his team win. And so every Friday, we'll go to my brother's games, whether it was at home or away. And I found myself falling in love with the culture of football, guys. And I remember being a kid in the front yard, and you can probably relate to this, throwing the ball up in the air. Imagine that you the best running back or quarterback or linebacker in the league, or you played all the positions and you was the best of the best, right? And that was me. I imagined myself being the best football player and best athlete in the world. And I can remember being out there outside with my football, throwing it and kicking it and punting it and catching it and the whole 9 yards, right? And then as I began to get older, I got into youth football. I was 9 years old when I first started playing organized football. I was a defensive end. I had number 99. And I remember being so disappointed because I wanted to be my brother's number. He was number 32. And I wanted to be 32 so bad, and I got 99, and I was so sad. I was so disappointed, but I didn't have no control over it. So I went ahead and played anyway. And guys, at that moment of when, coach didn't put me at running back, he put me at defensive end, I felt like I lost something. I felt like I wasn't good enough, right? And I know that, some of you guys probably feel like you're not good enough or wasn't good enough at the time. And I remember that feeling. I remember it even now, feeling like I wasn't good enough. But I played that season out, and I enjoyed the season. We made it to the second round of the playoffs. We lost to a really good team, and that was that. So fast forward, guys, to the 6th grade. I talked to my dad about starting a youth football team, and he said, yes, son, I'm going to head coach your youth football team, 11 and 12-year-old team. So I was so excited just to know my dad was going to head coach a team that, I told all my classmates. I mean, the first day of practice, I had rallied up about 25, 30 kids First day of practice, I single-handedly did that, right? My dad was out there and he gave his big rah-rah speech, and he was one of those guys that was just a big alpha male, and just when he talked, you listen, you shut up, you know. He was a strong personality. You know, just a man's man, you know. My dad, he had that practice. Then we were supposed to practice the next day, but guess what? It didn't happen. I went out there, my classmates went out there, my dad didn't show up. Then my dad told me when I got home, he said, okay, I had to work. My dad owned his own business. He said, I had to work. So next day, showed up with my team or with my friends. You know, he didn't show up again. So this time, you know, I asked my dad, you know, what's the deal? You know, like, what's up? my guys out there, they asking me where you at. And I'm like, I don't know. And so he didn't show up. He said, Monday, y'all be out there. We're going to do it. And so we came out there. It wasn't 25 friends. It was probably like 20, dwindled down to 20, 15, 20. I don't remember. But he didn't show up again. And so by this time the next day, Tuesday, me and my best friend, we get into it because he said, man, your dad lying. Your dad's a liar. You know, blah, blah, blah. And I, of course, being a kid, you know, somebody accusing my dad of being a liar, I take up for him. And to make a long story short, that entire year, I was bullied by my former best friend, and with just about every one of those kids I ended up recruiting for the team. And a lot of those kids ended up missing the football season that year because they was expecting for a team to formulate. And that was one of the rough years of my life, guys. And I can remember, and this is where the seed of coaching came, guys. I remember saying to myself in my room, I was so mad, and I think I was probably crying or something, but I said that I'm going to become a youth football coach, and I'm not going to ever do what my dad did, which was I'm not going to make a promise that I'm going to coach a team and I don't start that team. I'm not going to let kids feel the way I felt about starting a team, looking forward to having a team, and then never start the team. And so I ended up playing football my junior high year, 7th grade, 8th grade. And I remember being at those games and looking for my dad to show up. And now, mind you, my dad, he's deceased now, and let me tell you about my dad. He was an awesome man. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not bashing his character or anything, because he was a great dad. He was there with my mom 46 years before he passed. A great businessman, a great man. You know, we never had need of anything, just a great man. You know, me being an adult now, I get it. You know, he was one of those blue collar men that believe in working hard, and he put work first. And he was about providing for his family above anything else he did. So he was just one of those hard-nosed, blue-collar, blue jean wearing, you know, dirt under the nail kind of men, right? But I remember in junior high playing football, and my dad said, I'm gonna be at your game, son. I look in the stands, he's not there. And, you know, at the end of the game, he'd pull up and pick me up and take me to the house. And you know, I can remember, guys, that he, between 7th and 8th grade, he probably came to maybe 3 or 4 of my games within a 2-year span. You know, about 3 or 4 games out of 16 games, I want to say, within 2 years. And that crushed me. And again, it began to continue to build that fire. And when I started playing football in high school, guys, I began to become an extension of my dad. I began to become very, very kind of wishy-washy. You know, I'll play football, and then when it get hard or I'm not in the position I want to get in, I'll quit, or I don't show up to practice. And my parents, my mom was a very religious lady, and so My mom would always say to me, you know, why you go to practice? I don't want you to play anyway. You need to just come to church. You don't need to play anyway. So when things got hard at practice, I just not show up to practice or I quit. And that's what I did throughout my high school years. I would start the season and I would quit. Even though I was a great athlete, athletic, high IQ, I was the player on the team that knew everybody else's position, that knew where everybody was supposed to be. I may not have been like the most athletic guy, but I was the guy that coach would put me at middle linebacker, outside linebacker, free safety. I'd be at tight end on offense. I was that guy, that just high IQ player, had great hands, you know, had tight end speed. So I was just one of those solid support players that, you know, if you a coach, you know what I mean. You'll want one of me on your team, you know. High character kid, but just when things got hard, I would quit, and I didn't have the support and the accountability to be my best, to be great. So guys, after high school, I ended up coaching, going to the military. Let me take that back. I ended up going to the military, Air Force. Ended up getting injured at basic training and had to drop out of basic. So I didn't go to the Air Force, but as soon as I came out the Air Force, I decided to start my own youth football team. And the rest is history, guys. And before I get into the back end of this video or this story, guys, if you are enjoying this, do me a solid, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're getting value out of what I'm talking about and you enjoying the story. But so came back from the Air Force, got married, started my own youth football team at 20 years old. First year, we made it to the championship, lost in a heartbreaker, 13-6. But I'm sharing all of this stuff with you to tell you guys, know your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you coaching? For me, my why was that I didn't want any kid to feel the way I felt as a sixth grader when my dad left me hanging, you know. Whether he meant to or not, that's what he did. And I had one of the worst years of my life in sixth grade because my friends didn't trust me anymore. And I lost a lot of friends that year. But it gave birth to me being a coach. But at the same time, it also gave birth to a guy who didn't have a lot of high self-esteem starting junior high and high school. It gave birth to a dude who would quit when it got hard. A kid who didn't have no accountability, no support, and as it relates to sports. You know, when I was ready to quit, my mom said, quit. I want you at church anyway. And my dad, he always worked. He was that guy, he'd get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. He'd be gone working and be back at the house about 7 in the evening, 8. You know, I didn't have the support. By this time, you know, I'm the youngest of 7, and my brother that I was telling you guys, that was an all-state running back, he was gone. You know, of course, he went off to college, but then he was grown and he started doing his own thing. So I didn't have that, guys. And so I coach football, and I inspire kids, and I support kids because I remember when I didn't have that support. And more than ever, guys, kids, whether they are youth age, middle school, or high school, they need your support, guys. Don't let your why simply be about wins and losses. Let your why be about making a true impact and being there to support a kid who needs the support. Even if the support is accountability. Even if the kid is he got discipline issues, he needs the accountability, the hard love. Be a coach that's there for a kid. Even if it's just one. Even if it's just 1 or 2 kids buying. It don't matter about the wins and losses at the end of the day, especially in youth football, guys. Little league, guys especially. Be there and support each and every one of them kids in that program. Even if you have to Show them tough love. Show them love, though. That's the key. Show them love and support. And they will appreciate you for it when they get older. A lot of the kids who play with me, they're in their mid-20s now. They're in their mid-20s. Some of them are teenagers. I got some about to graduate high school. I got some in middle school now. I mean, I've been doing this a while, guys. But one thing I want to tell you guys is be there for your kids. Don't make false promises that, you know, you'll start a team and don't start it or something like that. You don't want to be that guy, right? Be the guy that's there for your kids. Be the coach that makes an impact in your community. And when it's time for you to move on to the next level or retire from coaching or, you know, start doing something else, you know, those kids, when they become adults, they're going to remember you. When they have their own families, they're going to remember you. I got kids in my program now who coached with me. I mean, who played for me when I first started coaching. They're now on my coaching staff. Be that type of coach. Be the coach that makes a lifelong impression. All right, guys. So, guys, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you were inspired. I hope you know your why. I love to know what your why is. Feel free to share it in the comments. And also hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you got value out of this video I just shared, guys. And remember, guys, I want you to be great, have fun, and beast out. But I want you to be the best coach in your league, in your area, not because you can win games and win championships. I've been there. I've won championship. It's cool in the moment. It's cool in the moment, but I really get my high off of when my kids graduate high school or graduate college, get married, have their own kids, and then they start coaching or they start playing semi-pro. I've had kids play semi-pro. You know, that's when it really matters. That's when you know you're a good coach. When you can make an impact and when your kids see you in the streets, in the mall, at games, they said, man, they run up to you and say, Coach, man, miss you, man. I wish you can still coach me. I wish this. I wish that you changed my life. When you become that coach, you've won. You've won the game. All right, guys, that's it for this video, guys. Remember, be great, have fun, and beast out. Peace.